Alright, guys, we're back here today doing another Fresh and Fit podcast. I want y'all to pay attention very closely to what is said here and watch how many times she proves Myron's point correct. It's at least 3 or 4 times she proves him right, but let's get right into it.
So what I'm trying to say is, y'all are putting us between a rock and a hard place. There's nothing we have said in this whole entire podcast that y'all have acknowledged, validated, maybe here or there, but y'all want us to listen to everything y'all saying, and I just don't think that's fair.
Because most of the things that you've said don't make sense or aren't true.
According to
everybody in the chat.
Reality.
According to these losers.
Okay. What did you say that we invalidated? Go ahead.
She even know them.
The fact that women are not nobodies, the fact that women's status,
What?
I
We
think.
didn't say all that, bro.
Yes, you did. You said women are. You said women are.
I said
women are no one.
No, hold on.
Men are.
Yeah, I also said men are too.
Yeah, he did.
I like that you said that. But no, I said women. I said men don't care about a woman's status when it comes to relationships and attraction. It's not a metric for us.
So what do you think about the movie Pretty Woman?
Oh my gosh, bro. The movie, bro?
I've never seen that movie.
Art imitates life. So
No, that's
you've never seen that movie?
I've never seen Pretty Woman. No.
Okay, so basically it's about a rich, wealthy man.
Yep.
He wifed a hooker.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
That kind
Most men
That kind
prefer
That
to not
proves
be
his
with a
point.
promiscuous woman.
Okay, but
TV is not real.
art imitates life. Are any of you married?
Not to.
No, but once again, that's not the metric of success for us.
It's not.
So you would date a bum off the street?
Holy shit.
We will fuck the average girl. She's
Okay,
hot.
okay.
So what does that say about you?
Hold on.
Nobody answered her question, but yes, tons of successful men would take the bum off the street.
Who controls sex, men or women?
Woman.
Okay. Who controls relationships, men or women?
Woman.
Men.
Men.
I don't agree with
Not
that.
even
You
men
said
are
it a
men.
second ago. To become a fiance, he has to propose. You said this earlier in the show.
Yeah, but I have to say yes.
Yes, but
Or
he has
no.
he has to present the
Answer you
opportunity
first.
for you.
You can't force him.
But I'm still the one with the final say.
But you can't force him, though.
You can't become a wife until a man designates you as that.
Yeah.
Is my point. And I can't have sex unless you designate me as a potential
Yeah,
suitor.
but that's Western, like you said, Western practices, right? We in the Western hemisphere. We in America,
it's
right?
how
That's
it's always been.
Okay, but maybe that's not necessarily always true.
Women control sex, men control relationships.
She went to college?
Men don't control relationships because they wouldn't be able to be in a relationship without a woman, and they can't control women. That's the problem. That's why y'all mad. Y'all can't control women. Y'all want to.
That explains it, bro.
Man. Women seek relationships, men seek sex. For a woman to get a relationship, she must go through a man. For a man to get sex, he must go through a woman.
Women seek equality. That's the only thing we seek
Really?
the entire
No,
time.
no, you
Yes.
Seek equality.
You do.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't know nobody here, but I know me. At the end of the day, if I'm in a relationship with someone, I just want them to treat me as their equal. I don't want them to cheat on me. I don't want them to tell me my opinions don't matter. I don't want them to tell me that I'm dumb.
That was the first time she proved Myron's point. She said, I can't speak for anyone else, therefore she's not talking in generalities like the show does. She's talking only for herself. That's the first time.
I want them to treat me as an equal because if there's one thing that we do have in common is that we're humans.
Okay,
And
so
that
you're okay with going 50-50?
if you cut me open, I'ma bleed just like you bleed. We have majority of the same organs besides our reproductive.
Fantastic. Okay, so are you okay with going 50-50 on the bills?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay with if some physical confrontation reveals itself that you fight half the time and he fights half the time?
Yes, that's called a battle buddy. That's being in the field with your partner.
What the fuck?
You asked me earlier.
What the
You
hell?
asked me. No, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I told
but
you
she's
I
from New
grew up
York,
in the
though.
military.
Yeah, she's
No,
from New
no,
York,
it's not.
bro.
It has nothing to do with being in New York. It
Yeah,
has to
it
do with
does.
growing up in a military household and
bro.
learning what it means to
Diamond?
actually have a partner.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
So you want an equal partnership. I would argue that most women don't actually want that.
I know
So
Diamond
you might
fight,
be an
bro.
exception.
Almost one.
But once again, what did I say before? You interpret a lot of the things I say through your own lens.
Facts. What other lens am I supposed to interpret it through?
You know what's crazy? This just goes to show that people are selfish, especially.
Men are selfish.
I would argue.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
If you went up to me and you said, damn, world hunger is a problem. People are fucking starving and dying every day.
Right.
And I looked at you and I said, me and my niggas eat. What would your response be to that?
Every day.
I would be like, okay, but everybody should eat.
Okay. So
Everybody ate.
okay. So you acknowledge that just because your experience doesn't dictate what I said doesn't mean that it's invalid. World hunger is still a problem, right?
World hunger. Wait, what are you talking about? Say that again.
It's an analogy.
Stupid. If you ask me, or you told me, hey, world hunger is a problem, people are dying and starving all over the place.
Yes.
And then I responded to you, me and my niggas eat, right? Wouldn't that be your response?
Yes, it would.
Yes, because it doesn't invalidate that world hunger is a problem and it's true.
Yeah.
So you do realize that I'm telling you things that are objectively true, and then you bring it back to yourself and say, well,
But
that's not me.
Objectively true to who? You? You're still saying truths that are coming out of your mouth. There's no dictionary. There's no vetted research. You're not a PhD. You don't have nothing written in a book. You didn't write the Bible.
Do I have to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2?
No, but
By your logic?
No, but like you're just talking, like you've been talking this whole entire. You've been talking crazy this whole
He wrote a
time,
book, by the way.
and you have a platform, and you've done really well with getting the large masses of people to agree with you in a virtual platform.
Because it's
but
true.
at the end of the day, the things you're saying is not true. It's true to the people who are part of this production. It's true to
large.
that guy who's talking back there.
Okay, let's go.
It's
Let's
true
go
to
back.
him,
How
like,
did this conversation start?
You tell me.
No.
So you don't even remember the trajectory of the conversation?
I'm in the now. I'm not in the. I'm not
That's
in
the
the past.
fucking problem.
No, that's not the
Let's
problem.
go backwards real quick.
You're trying to confuse me.
Let's go backwards.
You're trying to.
Because here's the thing. No. That's the problem.
You're trying to
Because
make me sound
you're not paying attention to the conversation. We started with equal partnerships.
I'm not paying attention to the conversation because you want me to agree with you, and I'm not going to do that. You want me to agree with you.
So you're
you keep
arguing to
creating
argue.
you keep creating these diversions, trying to pretty much ultimately push me into a corner to be able to say, you know what, yes,
victim, bro.
you're right. No, I'm not a professional victim. I'm just
going
aware.
systematically through a logical line. So this started.
Start from the beginning. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will, because unlike you, I'm paying attention to everything you're saying.
fine. Go
You're
ahead.
not paying attention to what I'm saying.
I am paying attention to what you're saying.
You just said you did it a second ago. You're not
No,
listening.
that's
You literally
not
just
what I
admitted
said.
that. You literally
I
just
said
said,
I'm
I'm not
paying
listening.
attention to what you're saying
Because
so
you're trying
much.
to put me in a box.
No. I'm paying attention to what you're saying, but I don't care about what you're saying.
There you go.
Because what you're saying, everything you're saying, you're trying to point in one direction, which is that you want every woman at this table to agree with the things that you're saying. You only engage in discourse when we're actually saying things that could somewhat validate the things that you're saying. But as soon as we say something the opposite, it's no, stop talking. You're not saying anything that's true. Nah,
Okay.
that's cap.
That's not what went down. But anyway, first it started with you wanted equal partnership.
Yes.
And I said, in general, women don't want an equal partnership. They want a man who's going to be a leader, protector, provider. That means the guy is in a breadwinner position, which means they're inherently unequal. Then you said, well, I want that. And I said, okay, cool. Then I used the analogy of world hunger. If you told me world hunger is a problem and I responded to you saying, well, me and my niggas eat, you admitted that that was a stupid response. Because me saying my niggas eat does not change the fact that world hunger is still a problem. So I'm saying, okay, if you think that's stupid, that's what you're doing right now. I'm telling you, most women want a protector, provider, and want a guy that can be the leader. You're saying I want equality. And I'm like, cool, that's you, but a majority of women don't want that. So just because you're different than the majority doesn't refute what I said. What I said is objectively true. A majority of women want a leader and a breadwinner.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Like,
Thanks. I mean, anything I say right now, you're gonna have like you're gonna like try to shut me down. So it's like you don't even want me to be able to like go back and forth with you.
Down, man.
yeah, you shut
No,
yourself down.
I didn't shut myself down because what I'm trying to paint to you is that you're saying something that's objectively true, but I'm proving to you that what you're saying is not true.
How?
Because I'm me. I exist.
Bro,
Like
you are... Yo. Chris.
what?
No,
like,
Mills.
Because you're
Bring up an
proving
IQ
his
test.
point. You're
No.
proving his
I'm not
You
proving his
deserve an
point
IQ
because
test.
no, I don't deserve an IQ
No, you do.
test.
You
No,
do.
no.
You proved your point.
No, I'm not.
Holy.
Everything you just said, you're saying, oh, this is objectively true. So define being objectively true. Go
He
ahead.
just did.
He
Like,
just did...
It's
All right,
true.
I'm talking to him. I'm telling him to
It's
do it
true
again.
regardless of what parameter you try to put on. Whether I say it or someone else says it, it's objectively true. 1 + 1 is 2. He could say it, I could say it, you can say it, it's true.
Yeah, but your 1 + 1s don't always equate to 2 though. Like you're there. You really think every man would agree with what you're saying? Like you really think every man in the world will agree with what you're saying right now?
generally,
Okay,
You really
generally.
believe that?
generally
Look,
speaking.
you
Generally,
understand.
so just
You
if it's
understand. Hold on,
generally,
hold
then
on.
that is not
You
inclusive of
understand.
all. It's
You
a
understand.
general statement.
You understand that
the fuck?
if something is a fact, whether someone agrees with it or not is irrelevant. You understand it, right?
But you're speaking on topics that are way more complex than a 1 + 1 equals
So-
I'm
2.
trying to
Well, it's a
simplify it
point,
because we're clearly having a disconnect
No,
here.
you don't need to simplify it. I'm
think I do.
here with you. I don't agree with what you're saying. And with the fact that you make blatant statements about women that are simply not true, because I know they're not true, because I know myself. I know
So a
other
majority
women
of
who are
women
just
don't
as
want a protector provider?
I would believe that many women want a protector or provider, but I also know that many women have had to protect and provide for themselves.
Okay.
That's why we sat here and said
but
half
if
of
given
women,
the choice,
majority of women, right? We talking about majority of women, right?
If given the choice, would they want a protector and a provider? I'm saying yes, a majority of them would want that.
Who wouldn't want a protector and a provider?
So then I'm right.
Did your dad protect and provide for you when you was a jit?
That's his job, yes.
Okay then. So would you ask your younger self that question and be like, do you want a protector and provider?
I'm talking about women, not a son.
That's a rhetorical. You're talking about a vulnerable being. That's what you're talking
You know
about.
what? Let's solve it right now. Ladies in here who wants a provider and leader, raise your hand.
Who wants,
wait a minute.
Who wants a loser and a follower? Who wants a loser and a follower?
No,
That's a dumb question.
That's the point that he's
That's
trying
the point
to
you're trying to make. Nigga.
Nah, y'all
come
doing
on,
something. Y'all
2.0,
doing something
relax,
else.
man.
Y'all doing something else. Y'all doing something else.
Look,
Y'all doing something else.
Look, as someone that went to a prestigious university,
yes,
right, and is educated, this is what I mean when I say education doesn't mean intelligence. You've been arguing for something for no reason this entire time just because you want to argue.
No, because I don't agree. That's not
Okay.
just because. That's because I don't agree. I'm
disagreeing
mean.
with a fact is irrelevant then.
It doesn't matter if it's irrelevant. I still disagree.
You can okay, if you disagree with a fact, then that just makes you dumb.
We got some more chats here, and then we're gonna close this out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the only notes that I have here is her saying that she would take half of the physical confrontations. All that means is that half the time her and her husband would be at a high chance of dying. She couldn't even comprehend the analogy that Myron was doing. She does this typical woman thing of saying your truth. She tried saying Myron doesn't know things because he hasn't wrote a book, and when she found out that he did in fact write a book, she just blew it off and said, no, that don't matter. She couldn't even pay attention to the conversation. She wants to be a victim so bad, just like most women, and said, you're putting me in a corner or in a box, which so many women say that crap and it's so stupid. I mean, that's just being a professional victim. She kept saying Myron says all women when he never says all. He doesn't say all because of this exact reason. People really just, they hear what they want to hear, and she argued points that Myron made, but yet she made the same point. Like at the end when she said, well, who wants somebody that's dumb and a follower? That was the exact point he was making, is that nobody wants a person that is dumb and a follower. But y'all have a good night. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Have a good one.